Hi, friends. My name is Theodore Cottingham, and I have a website, theodorcottingham.com, to teach you if you're willing to be taught, if you want to learn from me. And what is my purpose in teaching? To empower you to learn to know love-based truth as opposed to all other truth. Truth that may seem real, look real, meet the demands, the criteria of the scientific method. But there's more to truth than meets the eye. There's more to love-based truth than you've ever seen, heard, or participated in this life. And it's time now to beget a new beginning, to birth a new beginning, to begin a new birth, the new birth of the new beginning in you, where you create it. You see, you are the beginning of a new creation, if you will be it. Creation of what, though? Creation of a new entity, a new person, a new people, a new species, a new operating system, a new system of education. A new planet. You see, there's just so much more to the story. If you will empower you to learn to be the power thereof, not subservient to another power. But you see, it takes guts. It takes gumption, bravery, courage, leadership, willingness to know, willingness to go where no man has gone, willingness to do things you've never done and you don't know anyone else who has done, willingness to be afraid and do it anyway. Courage is not about being not afraid. It's recognizing your ability. It's recognizing the promise. The promise of what? Simply gain, do more, have more, work harder, slave away, strive like we all have done in Molecularland, the visible imperial, the visible empirical. Motherland? Molecularland is not my motherland. Nor is it yours unless you just stay here, stay you are. But I suggest to you we're going to a new place. We, who are we? We who are love. We who are love, who become love-based. The centrality of our truth being love that does not thwart us and send us off the rails anymore, Ruby, Or are you willing to change your metaphors, your syntax? Religion? Are you willing to have none? You see, the new beginning I'm addressing now, I never dreamed that I would speak of like this. You see, I'm no longer bound by the religious terms. I'm no longer desirous of going to heaven. I know better. I've laid down my Santa Claus story of God, who he is, and that it must be a he. I've laid down all the authority of all patriarchy because I've seen its brutality. And I know a bigger story. I've seen who's behind the curtain. Like in The Wizard of Oz, Alice, Tin Man. We're going to a new land, the land of Oz. Hey, it's a great metaphor. Visual, delightful, entertaining, powerful. When you're beginning to see there's more to the story. There's more to the story of creation. The story of creation that was created before the Big Bang, before existence was built on non-conforming molecules or molecules that conformed to a certain set of criteria, how they operated, how they spin, how they interact, attract and repel under forces, electromagnetic, strong force, weak force, gravity. I am not limited to this earth, and you are not either. See, we are coming into no longer being afraid land. The land of no longer being afraid of a devil, a demon. Satan goes about the earth seeking who he may devour, destroy. But I tell you, and you may inherently know this, when you want love-based truth, not just an expansion of what you've known, not just confirmation of what you have lived in, there'll be some tearing down. Tearing down of what? Definitions. Uprooting definitions. Uprooting a definition, a tree. A definition can be a tree, definitional. A tree giving you a picture, a word giving you a picture, a belief system, a story giving you a picture, the God story. Let's go beyond what has landed us here. My desire is to empower you so that you're no longer always wondering what the real truth is. How can you know truth? And if you begin to channel, and I've talked about channeling hundreds of times, I've talked about it being central to the flow of love, for a flow of information, a flow of new knowledge to do a whole lot more than come to you. It must come through you. The new knowledge must be as water to a garden. That water brings life, molecules, nutrients of life to that garden. Molecular water bringing nutrients of life to the molecular garden. But you are more than the molecular you. You are the infinite intelligence of one. You are one interdimensional being, not limited to molecular Earth. Molecularland is not your home. Molecularland is not your destination. There's more to the story, friend. And let's no longer be bound by the ropes of religion, its rules and chains that demand we be stagnant and subject our mind to the control, the mind control of the religious ways, the religious teachings, the religious people that, no matter how sincere they seem to be, they are intent on pleasing God, pleasing a force, pleasing a source that demands their obeisance, that instills fear in them. Love-based truth, truth-based love contains no fear and is not afraid of those who want to instill fear in you. You're becoming a new creation, not limited by earth, not limited by time, not limited by space, not limited by the tongues of the apocryphal ways, apocryphal writings, religious writings, even things that you adopted, things that you've been taught, even things that I have taught. I no longer embrace. The water that watered me 20 years ago is insufficient for my growth. I've learned a new song. This is the third or fourth lesson that I've entitled Beginning with Waking Up. Waking up to a new truth, a new view, a new power, a set of powers, a range of powers, powers to create. We're moving now from Molecularland to Creationland. Who are the creators of Creationland? You. Common girls and boys. Common, ordinary. Just like me. Just like you. Love-based truth is not hard to discern when you know, like so many things, when you know, when you understand, you say, oh my gosh, that's so simple. How did I make it so hard? Why was it so difficult? Love-based truth keeps no record of wrong. Hear me well. You can draw 2 columns on your yellow tablet. I've encouraged you many times to listen to these with a pen in your hand and a tablet and make notes and even listen to these lessons multiple times. I've channeled the most part of 21 years. Benefit, please, from my joy, from my suffering, from my process, and enter a process. Enter the process of you creating you again without the rigmarole, without going through all the fiery furnaces that I went through. Pretty sure you've been through some too, to even be listening to me teach, listening to me talk. Because there is an energy that accompanies my communication. And it's not demonic, it's angelic. Or do we even need those terms? Haven't you heard people talk with you and the words seem to say one thing, but you felt another? You were comprehending something oppressive. There's nothing oppressive in truth-based love, love-based truth. It is essential now that we know the difference, that we grow up to know the difference, and that we mature in rightly dividing the word of truth. Because so much truth that we have held as truth, we were certain of it. We lived it. We worshiped it. We worshiped the King. We danced to the majesty of the heavens and the glory of his honor. And we glorified the name Jesus. And we danced and we sang and we praised and we worshiped and we adored and we worked like dogs to have enough to eat, make the house payment. Buy a new dress for my daughter. Don't you know what that is? Haven't you been in lack? So many of us have been put down even by the people that love us. Because they love us through a certain image and apply their wants to us and transmit their expectations to us, making us feel like shit so often, that making us feel like we're not enough. We don't measure up. We've wanted to be happy, but we've desperately wanted to please the person that we loved. How can we make her happy? What else can I do? Or him, her, your children, your parents, your preacher, a pastor, a teacher, your God. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'll serve you. I see now I had a lot of things rather messed up because of my teaching. And because so much of my learning, even as I pursued knowing God, so often I limited myself to well-known authors, well-known teachers, teachers that I thought knew what they were talking about because they had so many followers. They'd written so many books. They were so well known. Many of us have. If all you want is affirmation of what you believe, you can find numerous teachers to help you do that, and I am not one. I am one who met love. I met her. She's feminine. But she is not like you may think. She is not gorgeous with a shape to die for. She's transmolecular, a hybrid, man-woman, woman to man. The gender of love is not divided like we think. The gender of love is one. And I suggest to you, it's what we would call the best way we know how to understand, to define it, to provide a metaphor, an ideal, a picture, a word. It's feminine. It's a consciousness. It's a mentality. It's an energy. And this energy accompanies my words. And even as I stumble along and assemble words as I can, communicating with this energy, letting this energy teach me who I am. This energy waters my garden with the words that define and redefine me. And I grow my garden to be watered by it. So it is my garden that is its garden. And the garden of creation no longer becomes fused with the finite, limited, molecular. But there grows something in my garden this way, day by day, as I surrender, as I learn still, as I form me. I am not forming you. You do. And I am not forming you in my image or any image at all. I offer you love this way, this energy, this substance. That's beyond the visible empirical. That transluminates light. No longer limited to words. no longer limited to your incandescent ways of thinking or your LEDs or whatever. There's so much more to the story. And now, the new beginning is taking place. The new beginning is taking place. Whether you think so or not, whether you want it to or not, the new beginning is taking place. It's already rooted. The roots are already here in many people across this planet, of different nations, of different colors, of different dialects. Many of them have different names for love. But in their heart, not their blood pumping muscle, but the command center, the origination center, the command and control center, the control center, the palace of your light, the palace of light, the temple not made with hands, the control room, like in The Wizard of Oz, when Alice and her friends finally pulled back the veil. Here was the story of Santa Claus God, the story of an old guy working those levers, booming the voice through mechanical means, trying to control his empire. But even then, as I recall, he had a pretty good heart. A lot is happening in the world this day that we do not see, but we feel. We feel the rumbling, the tectonic plates shifting, the love coming forth. Teachers opening to new ideas, new systems of education. Creationland is open if you will open it. The religious, some call it the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is within you. Creationland, where you're the creator. You see, when you begin to understand, it's not so terribly complicated. Getting there's another story sometime. Because we had the wrong idea. But see, think about the difference between, very generally, religion versus science. Religions are stagnant. They want to codify, canonize, control through their philosophies. They're stagnant. They intentionally make and develop followers into being followers, not leaders. They intentionally stifle the voice of God, the voice of living love, the voice that will water your garden of creation for you to become the creator again in the cycle of love, the cycle of creation that no longer languishes in duality, in the squalor of our huts, our homes, our affluent ways, so often modeling our hubris. You see, my friend, we're talking about the new birth. Holy smoke! Holy Ghost. You see, there's so many attributes, so many aspects of so many mythologies, so many religions, so many stories that portray an aspect of what may really be the actual non-dimensional truth. But those stories have been tainted terribly, tainted with the motives of control by so many people. The new birth, the cosmic egg. What do they have in common? Might they have something in common? Might they be the same thing? Might we be talking about a story that initially came forth way before the planet Earth existed, before there was any cosmic Big Bang that so many seem to be consumed with, knowing, studying. The consciousness, if you wake up, really, to love-based truth, you will begin to see many things differently. You won't be looking for affirmation of your belief system anymore, or confirmation in a catechism class. You won't be looking to who will feed you as you sit in a pew on Sunday morning with a 3-point sermon that a lot of them get on the internet from somebody else. You begin to see love for what it is. You begin to see the motive. You begin to see underneath. You begin to see underneath the framework of what we've been given of these stories and what they mean and how to interpret them, so that we're no longer trying to interpolate or extrapolate. We're no longer trying to make things fit. You ever feel like what is it? A round peg in a square hole, or vice versa? Have you not at times felt like, this is not my world? You read, you listen, you see the news, the reports of the brutality, the extreme cruelty done by so many to so many, and has been for eons, some in the name of God, perpetrating brutality, cruelty, patriarchy. We're beginning to understand and know the difference and be able to differentiate and learn to mature. And when we hear other people's words, read other people's writings, listen to their teaching, when we channel, we are beginning to learn. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of writing a stray word, some kind of errant truth. Don't be afraid at all. Write. Let that water flow. Let the nutrients of love begin to flow. And you'll begin to mature. to see, to feel, to hear, to understand which words you can drink from, which words you can drink, words you. You'll begin to feel the motive. You'll begin to see the values. The values. What's the motive? What's the motive of that teaching? To instill fear? Recognize it. Open your eyes. Become sensitized to the love and desensitized to the molecular attraction of the law of large numbers or somebody's credibility that they have manicured so well to portray to become an influencer over their flock or through their followers. Grow up. There's a new beginning, folks, and it's taking place with you, if you will be it. Creationland. Welcome to Creationland. If you want to wake up, Creationland. You begin a new beginning. And see at the bottom. In Creationland, you are the creator. In Creationland, you are the creator, creating you. It begins with you and ends with you. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. The creator and the creation, lo and behold, are the same one. Religion comes and separates you and says, you were created by God and God is this, that, and the other, special, divine, and don't blaspheme God, you heretic. We'll excommunicate you. We'll burn you at the stake and laugh at your pain. That's what religion does. Excommunicate you, shun you, if you don't let them control you, if you don't conform to their ways, if you don't wear your hair just so and your skirt just a certain length, or pants, or dress a certain way, or have certain friends, or do certain things, or give certain monies to the organization. Control fuels control. Control fuels conformity. Control empowers control. Uniformity, subjectivity, leaders. It's all about domination. So when you begin to channel and you see afterward, okay, so you sit down and you write a page, you write 4 pages that you channel from another world, from a source, from God, from love. Write it, don't edit it. Let that channel open and flow. And don't always immediately judge it. I said more than once, there was a number of times, but one in particular. I was in my office, and I just had a sense of a phrase. I'd been channeling for a while, and I picked up my pen and a yellow tablet, and I wrote 4, 5, 6 pages. But it didn't flow easily. It flowed, but I wrote, and afterward, after I finished that writing, I so wanted to crumple that thing up and throw it in the trash can because it was pure garbage. And for whatever reason, I thought, no, I'm going to wait a few days. I put those pages on the corner of my desk. And several days later, I tidied up my desk or whatever, and I came across it and I read it. And I remember it vividly. I leaned back in my chair and I was reading some of the most beautiful love words, love letters that touched me so deeply I wept. Tears dripped off my face. And I was so thankful that I hadn't wadded it up, thrown it in the trash can. This is the kind of discernment, this is the kind of maturity that must come forth, and more. Where your emotions no longer control you. Your emotions no longer castrate you, no longer emasculate you, no longer silence you. You no longer fear your emotions, for your emotions are no longer controlling your world. Your emotions so often come from within your system of energy, your molecular body, what you've eaten, whether you've not eaten, your physiological nutrients. All of that stuff plays into it because there's such an interaction with the infinite, immortal, interdimensional being that you really are, interfacing, engaging with the molecular. When the molecular you is willing to engage with the infinite, interdimensional, eternal, immortal you, you'll begin to learn. And you will learn that there is a significant cost, because the infinite, interdimensional, eternal, immortal you will teach you in ways that you're not accustomed to. Some you'll like, some you'll really enjoy, and some will puzzle you. Be not dismayed. Be tenacious. Be not timid. Become the nimble heart. Nimble. Agile. Indomitable in your humility. I'm talking about Creationland. Getting there, opening up. Because you open the portal. It's already within you. But you grow the gate. You see the gate. You envision the gate. You create the gate. Will you open it? Will you see these words? These words I speak, create. Words of light. Words of light that are motived with truth-based love. Create light. You can't make me want to subjugate you because it's not my nature. See, I've changed my source for my words. I changed the water that waters me. The words that flow through my mind, that I hear, that I give to others, that I share day by day in the workplace, in the coffee shop, on the trolley, in recordings. has a motive. My motive is to empower. Your power, not. I'm not motivated to empower your power. I'm motivated to empower your love, your maturity, your ability, not just to see right from wrong in an evil world, a fallen world, a religious world. I'm asking you to see something you never imagined. I'm asking you to envision something this morning. Exiting Molecularland. Exiting. Laying down your baggage. The baggage of your beliefs. The baggage of religion. The baggage of your experiences. The baggage of your hurts and wounds. Entering Creationland. Boom! And the world can't miss it when you enter Creationland. And this is happening one by one. I want you to be one. I ask you to be one. I invite you. I admonish you. I exhort you. I implore you. But I won't beg. I used to. There were years I openly used that word. Many times knelt down on one knee. But I don't now. I'm looking for leaders. And though you may be scared to death to walk through that lion's den, you have faith, faith, faith. You no longer have faith in God. You no longer have faith in a substance of things hoped for that's based on another system of tyranny, a system of religion, a system of a soon-coming king, a system that says he did something for you, and he took care of everything, and he's going to come back. You don't have to do anything. You just believe, 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 believe. No, my friend. You become no longer afraid of death. Because you know there's more to the story. There's more than your Bible has ever given you. What has ever been preached. What has ever been taught. The kingdom, the promised land is within you. Promised land. Land? A land that you can go to, that love may show you as you go. A land that has physical attributes, molecular. Another planet. Could there be a planet in you? What are you willing to create? Are you willing to create love rather than brutality? Will you give up control? Will you give up control? Will you give up control over your circumstances? How you do this matters. Do you give up control of your emotions? No. You control your emotions? But how? You render them authorityless. You render them authorityless. When angst invades you and anxiety pummels you and worry envelops you and despair overtakes you, on those days and those moments, it's not religious faith that makes a difference. It's the beauty of love. It's the beauty of perfection. It's the knowledge of truth that has sown the seeds no longer of rejection, but the seeds of the Creator in you to create you anew. And all hell, all earth, and all the ignorant will try to stop you. They don't understand. So many don't want to understand. They don't want the truth. They want to just stay complacent in their belief. Because it takes guts to walk through the lion's den. It takes guts to walk through the fiery furnace. It takes guts to enter the kingdom of heaven within you. Guts, the kingdom of heaven, Creationland. See, we don't have to religionize it. We don't have to force it in to some kind of belief system called Christianity, this, that, or the other. My friend, Jack is out the box. And nobody's going to put Jack in the box anymore. Jack, I will be hijacked no more. This is my message. Who am I? I am. Who am I? If I am, I am. The Creator. The Creator of me. And you, my friend, are the Creator of you, and you are your creation sitting there. But we've been demised. We've been demented. We've taught dementia. We've infected everybody with the virus of religion. But it's all coming to an end. Or is it all coming to the new beginning? The power of love is all powerful. The power of love is so much greater than the power of hate. Open your eyes, please, to the gaslighting that takes place in religion. Who's pointing the finger at who? Who's in control? Who's empowering who? What's the motive? Who is opening the door to freedom? Freedom for you to be, freedom for you to hear, freedom for you to be a cosmic race again, a cosmic race, a race in the cosmos. No longer afraid of aliens, no longer afraid of ET, no longer afraid of what anybody wants to devise or depict as demons, devils. Your words won't work on me anymore, you religious fiends. You zealots. I was a zealot. but I'm a lover now, and I love you. I invite you, I ask you to lead you out of Molecularland. Why? Where you can go do your word. Do it. If you believe in me, you will do the works I do and greater. I am the way, the truth, and the life. See that becoming real in your mirror. Not the words speaking third person, someone else, but you speaking first person words of you. Originate the creativity, the awesomeness of love, the comprehensiveness where there's no longer comparison, there's no longer envy and jealousy. See, open your eyes this day. Let your eyes be open to the love, not of the Lamb of God sacrificed anymore for you, nor you being sacrificed to them, but you being the creator of all creation, loving enough to love you first, forgiving you of everything you've done and not done, letting go of every grudge, laying down every hurt. And every time a thought and that feeling of hurt, something that's wounded you, assails you, you have a choice. You submit or you lead. Lead out of where you've been. Lead out of where you've been tormented by you, by the torment of the soul message. I'm asking you, give up redeeming the soul, the seat of the emotions, the setup of your chakra system, the energy of your molecules, and let no more the world of your molecules dominate you, nor control you to keep you on the island, the planet Earth, the island. Remember the Truman Show, Jim Carrey, the island he grew up on. If you haven't seen the Truman Show movie, it's a delightful allegory, full of metaphors, full of truth. And the framework that had established his world began to crumble because he began to open his eyes. He began to notice little things. He began to notice a crack in the matrix, a deja vu. Oh, a cat. Now, you see, he began to notice. He began to become aware. He began to ask questions. He began to ask Laura Linney, his wife on the show. Oh, they are such terrific actors, actress. Priceless. It's a movie, terrific. Highly recommended. Let's exit Molecularland and enter Creationland. But let's create a new creation. New creations that are seamless between Molecularland and Creationland. So that we're not leaving Molecularland behind to its own devices and its own debasement of itself. Let us go. See who we are, feel who we are, become who we are, water who we are, open the portal, the gate, the heavens, the land, the reality of a new world, a new way, a new existence. And let us not forget our brethren, our sisters, our family who are still ignorant, who don't know to discern. They've never had a thought about how rotten, how cruel love is when it's tainted with a motive of control. It sucks. It's worse than that. It's insidious. All in the name of love. Control-based love is rampant. In fact, normal. Conditional love. But we're growing up. We're beginning a new beginning because we are the creators of the new creation. If we will create us again as the creator who creates us, our creation again in a new reality. See, it's really not all that complicated when you really know. When you really become it. Say, oh my gosh, wow. But it takes guts. It's day by day. To water the truth. Let the truth, the water of truth, the water of truth-based love, love-based truth. Let's get it straight. Love-based truth empowers, sets free, empowers, abolishes patriarchy, annihilates one controlling another. And everyone on earth will face this choice anew because they are going to hear about it. One way or the other, at some point, they will be told. They will hear my messages, my teaching, or more likely, they will hear yours. You who love, share the message. Become teachers, lovers, teachers who are lovers, lovers who are teachers, who empower. Become fearless, not subject to intimidation, no longer inhibited for your voice to come forth in new knowledge based on the values of fearlessness, based on the value of freedom, maturity, seeing the story was about you all the time, and telling everyone of every nation, tribe, and tongue, every little girl, whether she has a dress on or whether she doesn't even have one to wear, tell her she's loved and be love to her and empower her to learn through the vast within, a source network no longer limited to vowels and consonants. And this is how we come to be. New creations in Creationland. Thank you for the privilege of sharing with you this day. I go now. Please live love. End brutality. Abolish patriarchy. Annihilate cruelty. Let us be one. One mind. One consciousness, aware. Aware. Awakened. Creating. The birther. The birthee. The living word. The energy. And empower the motives of hate no more. No longer languish in trying to have faith or please another. Be the real you. I go. Thank you. Thank you, love. Love each other. Don't love my flesh. Love who I am. I am all of you who will be me. And that's how we all do John 14:12. That's how we see the story of the perfect. You were perfect all along, little girl. You don't need the admiration of a man. You don't need the story of a God. We're coming into the story of us, who love become lovers and graduate with a degree in meonics. Our meons are turned on. The light particle, the God particle, the us particle. Before existence became cruel. We were lovers. We were love. Let us love each other. TheodoreCottingham.com. I love you. I added a contact page to my website a couple days ago. You can contact me. You can say hello. Let love explode in you this day. And spread the seeds of love everywhere you go with every word, thought, and deed. Thanks. Good day. TheodoreCottingham.com. I love you. Thank you for subscribing to these words on YouTube, my email list, and in the school if you so choose.